Oh, and then he freaking mutes himself right when I started and he walks off the frame of the camera. Whatever. All right.
Oh,
Welcome to the Survivor Conquest podcast. Tonight we have quite the panel. We have four people on this podcast. Kyle, myself, Stallings coming back, but this has been a long time in the making. We have teased this since we have covered Survivor 47 way back in the day. For our final guest for this season, we have the one and only Jonah Boyer.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy. Like, did you guys do this for a previous season, or was this the first time you've done it, the Conquest
It's the
podcast?
first time we finished, but
The first time you
Yeah.
finished. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's nice to have just a deep. We can just like go over the entire season, and this was a
Yeah.
very monumental season. We got people from all different, parts of the show, and yeah, I'm very melancholic that it's over. But I'm just so happy for Aubrey. A lot of people, obviously, we've had a lot of people who've come onto the podcast, and everyone kind of has the same opinion that they're like, they don't like Aubrey, but I am happy for her. I mean, her win was, her loss was controversial. A lot of people are like, oh, Aubrey deserved the win. I think people are going to shut up a little bit about that now. They know that Aubrey's already won. So happy for her. I mean, it's $2 million, right?
Yeah. 2 million. So I guess we could just talk about Aubrey's win. Now, I think from an edit standpoint, I think we all saw this coming for a while now. Although I do think Aubrey's win, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Aubrey in terms of her archetype. I am very happy that she finally got the win that I feel like she deserved way back on Survivor Co. Wrong, but I feel like she kind of played an underwhelming game. I feel like Chrissy kind of said this at FTC. I think at times she was very passive. I don't think she has really any moves that she can claim. I mean, in terms of who I wanted to win tonight on a like personal kind of level, I wanted Aubrey to win, but I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I know a lot of people don't like Jonathan. I feel like Jonathan played the better game overall and was more proactive and had more agency.
Fact of the matter is, like, and you two can chime in whenever you like, but Jonathan isn't the type of person that you would expect to play a very good like strategic game. Like coming in, we were just like, yeah, he was just like this physical threat. He didn't get very many confessionals in his first season. And, I didn't really expect him to come in and be so strategic, but he got his way a lot of the time. And Aubrey's story and her underdog arc, her reputation that played a big role in her winning over Jonathan. But uh, yeah, I completely agree. I think Jonathan's had a lot of control. I don't know if I agree about Jonathan winning over Aubrey, but I haven't debriefed that in my head. It's just I think Aubrey's story is better. But Jonathan had a lot more control throughout the game. People were saying, "Oh, Aubrey's a floater." Who called her a floater? Was it Tiffany or Cirie? I don't remember. Um, but yeah, it was a bit of a weird winner's edit. But she has a good story, so I'm not surprised she won.
I think if nothing else, it feels like a very honest winner's edit in a way that at the end of the day, her win wasn't anything impressive, and I can applaud the editors in a way that I don't think she played in a super impressive game, and thusly her edit wasn't super impressive. I understand the narrative of why she won. I don't think she played a bad game. I think there is absolutely a debate that to be had between Jonathan and Aubrey. I think, yeah, personally, like if you're on that jury, Jonathan and Joe probably weren't the two most likable presences out there, and you can see the rootable nature in Aubrey and that she was one of those middle ground underdog type figures. And where Jonathan and Joe were kind of controlling the end game and were big factors throughout a lot of the game, Aubrey was the more rootable underdog. And the fact that Jonathan and Joe didn't want to sit next to her, despite the fact that potentially, like especially Jonathan, has an arguable case gameplay wise against her, but they didn't want to sit next to her, shows that at the end of the day, playing a good game is not everything. And even then, like you could still make an argument that from a certain perspective, Aubrey did play a better game than Jonathan. And at the end of the day, it's always in the in the hands of the jury.
Not in the hands of the
Oh,
fans.
yeah,
No, this
exactly.
season was not.
There's nothing in the hands of the fans. Yeah, I agree with everything that you guys have been saying. One huge factor that I do want to mention is I really, when it boils down to it, my biggest issue was with the casting of this season. I felt like they were structuring this as like this legendary celebration season
yeah, when it comes to the cast, I feel like we had half legendary players with some of the biggest threat levels that you can have out there. And then you've got people who are second chance contenders at most. And I'm not surprised to see this final three. I was never surprised to see this outcome. Because, for example, when you're Cirie Fields, what universe are you ever going to get? And I know she got somewhat close being in final six, but it's just a matter of when you look at that final six and you say, oh my gosh, like Cirie is here, everyone else is here. It just boils down to the fact that I think that this could have been a lot more enjoyable, and I think that we would have had a much crazier outcome if we had balanced the scorecard a little bit, just because I said this before. I am appalled at the fact that we had Joe Hunter return after watching him play the most authentic version of his game possible, getting third place, and now coming back, taking a spot on Survivor
Wait a
50.
minute, wait a minute. He was on this season.
Yeah, exactly, Jay. It's like the fact that he came back for this, took that spot, and did the exact same. I don't care what he said. He did the exact same thing again, and maybe even worse this time, and got zero votes and got third place. And I do applaud him for the personal reasons that he came out here. But it's another one of those things where I feel like there was some bias in this casting process with some people that they might like for a personal reason, and to call that in the hands of the fans just doesn't necessarily feel the most accurate. But we should probably get into like what actually happened in the episode.
But so big story of the night. We lose Rizzo, and we don't even see how it happens. Oh my
Oh
goodness,
my
this is.
That
God.
is that is the most memorable part
Hey,
of
no,
this
and I
episode.
tell you,
You
Isaiah and I
can't
were
just
both
talk about the
sitting
whole
here.
season. We have to talk about this episode because that was
Like,
historic.
yeah, well, I gotta say, when they brought out Rizzo, Isaiah and I were both thinking, why did they bring out Rizzo before this? Like, we were both anticipating him to lose fire, but at the same time, I was thinking, okay, are they gonna bring out Jonathan right next? And then the bewilderment when he says, Rizzo, take a seat, and just
You're
the
on the jury.
entire audience and the jury and everybody watching at home was just like, oh no, Jeffrey, what'd you do?
And this
That
is
was pretty
why,
optimistic. Like
go
Isaiah, you
ahead.
can go.
Oh, I was going to say, this is why probably we will never have a live reunion ever again. I'm sure Jeff will never live that moment down. I mean, not also just because of budget reasons. And one, I understand for 50, they decided to bring it back. But yeah, that was a pretty big blunder.
I mean,
Damn.
I was in a chat, like a Survivor 50 chat, and like I was a bit more optimistic that it could just be a prank because I'm like, how do you botch that? Like, there's so many people that are planning everything beforehand, and I guess maybe it was just Jeff's error, but everyone should have known when Rizzo came out that they hadn't aired the fire making, and no one stopped him. So I'm very confused by it, and I don't know how that would happen. And I mean, I don't think they're going to bring the live reunion back.
Dare I say I don't? Well, okay, live reunion meaning obviously like because we back in the old days there was the like they would bring everybody back for like a reunion episode. For this they do like the live finale where they save the votes until that. Dare I say I don't necessarily need that back. It's not the end of the world to me if they just read the votes in Fiji and that's how the season ends. Especially if we have opportunities for blunders like that.
Yeah. I mean, I like have a live vote reading in particular, just because I don't know, it just feels way more monumental. It feels like the entire season leads up to this instead of it's just like a footnote kind of, and like, okay, season's done, read the votes, okay, we're done. Instead, we know these players have been waiting for months, if not a year, to have these votes read. I like that, getting like the music playing in the background. I don't know, it made me nostalgic. I'll at least say that. But going into the actual content of the episode, I mean, we can go person by person, I think, going over the final five, I think. So we can start with Tiffany. What are everyone's thoughts on Tiffany?
Who
Well, I
wants to
was
go
What
first?
a
okay.
weird.
We all had thoughts.
Isaiah, you go. I just spoke.
Okay, I was gonna say, I want to know where the hell did her becoming such a big threat come from? She was pretty much non-existent throughout the entire pre-merge, maybe early post-merge as well. And what I was really confused about her is that, well, a couple things. Jonathan, wait, no, I think Jonathan called her like the sweetheart of the season. No, she is not the sweetheart of the season, very far from it. And also, we saw that, I think in the pre-merge, that there was going to be like, I thought they were hinting towards some type of Aubrey and Tiffany tight alliance or partnership that was mentioned and then pretty much never referenced or seen, in the future of the season. Like out of nowhere, they just become like enemies. And I guess she's with Cirie now. I don't know. Tiffany, overhyped. Apparently, she would have won against everybody. Don't see it. I guess we didn't see her game. I don't know.
They
No,
don't
not
edit.
much to say.
They don't need to necessarily edit perfectly. I think that if Tiffany was winning this season, which is why even if you're not paying attention to spoilers or Edgic, I wasn't spoiled, but just based off of paying attention to Edgic, it's pretty obvious that Aubrey was going to win. Like going into the finale, it was pretty obvious that Aubrey was going to win. But if Tiffany was actually going to win, she would have been hyped up a little bit more in the pre-merge, and that not happening made it pretty obvious to me that she wasn't going to win. But there was also a lot of other bigger characters in the pre-merge and a lot of other people that you would have rather, have the screen time at that point in time. So I think that played a role. But yeah, that was weird. I do remember that Aubrey and Tiffany having that conversation. Like, and Tiffany saying, "I want to work with Aubrey." Maybe it made Aubrey look good in the long term, but yeah, Tiffany just. I don't know how many confessionals she had in the pre-merge. Not very many. So
Zach
Uh,
Brown did have more confessionals at one point than she
Oh
did
my
the entire
gosh.
season.
for
So
a good stint there, yeah.
I
I'm going to talk
think
about Mr. Beast, right?
the thing that comes to
Wait.
my mind, Isaiah, when it comes to like where it came from with Tiffany, is kind of how Christian describes how Mike White plays with the building the narratives of the season. Because the second that somebody gets in trouble and that they get left out of a vote and then they have to win the next immunity, immediately painted as like that underdog story. And there's nothing clearly that survivor juries like better than either a ridiculous top dog or an underdog. Nobody really, for some reason they don't tend to like the middle dogs. And unfortunately this season, the final three pretty much kind of consisted of all middle dogs when it comes to that sense. Um, Also, I add, like, I don't know if you guys felt this at all, but what a weird ending. What a weird episode for Tiffany. I feel like we are introduced with her at camp. Very rash, obviously, understandable, just got blindsided and everything. I feel like for the rest of the episode, we didn't see like a ridiculous amount of fight from her, and then it kind of felt almost like a very rushed exit in the sense of like she didn't have anything to say at tribal. She was just really wanted to just get it over with and say, "Hey, I'm fifth place." And the fact that the other person that was on the block was Aubrey, who ended up winning the season, I believe 8-3. It just feels a little. It is weird. I just why I don't like the live stuff because I'm bringing out the people to have their little segments and give Ozzy this little T-shirt. Like it feels like we could have used a little bit of more insight because I feel like she fought the whole season and there's no way that was the entire story of her exit.
I think part of it could just be edit wise. She's not that important. She was kind of just, at least from what we were shown, she was just kind of Cirie's extra vote for a lot of the game. And then once Cirie goes, then she's just outright after. I think on the island it was a different narrative. Otherwise, she wouldn't be such a massive threat. But I think that for the edited story we were given, she just was not very integral. But I can appreciate that. I think in the new era, we've been missing like that feistiness, that bluntness that she showed at Tribal Council. And like she wasn't treated as like a hero in any of this. This wasn't some big ceremonious exit the way that a lot of fifth or sixth placers have gotten in the new era where they get that hero music. She was just a little bitter, a little annoyed, and she just left on her own terms where she was kind of just mad that it was happening, but she knew she couldn't do anything about it, so she just made it as palatable to herself as she possibly could. I think that's about it. I think in regard to her fighting, I think maybe she just came into it, realized nobody was going to bother trying to keep her around. There was no point. And even I think, like, yeah, in hindsight, Aubrey goes on to win the season. But I feel like you're looking at this from a logical point of view. If Tiffany is the supposed bigger threat, she's also the person that has won three immunities where Aubrey hasn't won anything. By all logic, it makes more sense to take out Tiffany there. So I can understand that even if you try and crawl and scrape and fight every last inch, at a certain point, you just know you're done. And I think Tiffany just knew she was done.
Well, a lot of people weren't integral. I mean, it was kind of like a Cirie fan edit. I mean, you're talking about like before Cirie was voted out, it felt like you were watching a Cirie fan edit. My goodness, she was like getting all the screen time. So there were a lot of people that like you weren't paying as much attention to in the season. But Tiffany, she made it far, and it was a bit of a weird exit. But I mean, she's extroverted, she's entertaining, I suppose. But like I understand why they cast her initially, and I guess they wanted her for those reasons on this season. A lot of people were like kind of looking at her like a bit of a dud pick. That felt like they could replace her with someone else. But yeah, I mean she was entertaining, but she wasn't very integral.
Second chance contender.
Yeah, she
Now, third
honestly, yeah,
chance.
she was a better fit for like a second chance type season. She shouldn't have been on 50. And
What do you
also
think
I
the next returning player season is going to be? Because we waited 6 years for this one.
there are apparently
52
rumors
or
out there
53
that
4.
for 52 there are returnees in the mix or that were contacted.
Gosh,
And Jeff did say, and this is like an actual interview that came from Jeff Probst, that we're going to see returnees sooner rather than later.
yeah,
So
it's
hopefully it
tough.
is 52. I don't know.
I think it's
Uh,
52 as well. It being all returnees. I mean, they're not going to do on off on off on off obviously, but if it is 52, it makes me wonder how frequently they're going to do them. It's like maybe 52, and then they'll do another one 55, and then maybe we'll get one for 60, and then maybe one in between 55 and 60. Because they
And
used to do them all
all,
the time. I mean, we
no, go ahead.
they're doing them all the time. Game changers, second chance, blood versus water, Caramelin. Like if you go back, they were doing them very quickly. Like Edge of Extinction had four, and then they just waited 6 years and
I
did
think
nothing
all
other
we
than
all we
Bruce.
really need to be
Bruce.
prepared for is to pinpoint who the 51 rep is going to be. That's going to be inevitably on 52. I'm so ready for it. It's going to be somebody. Who we got? I don't know any of their names, and I don't remember anyone. And then there was some guy in the 51 preview that said that he's taking someone with him when he's going down. That's the one guy I remember. I don't remember anything else.
yeah,
Yes, I
no
do
one
remember
really
that.
stood out in that preview, to be honest.
There
I
was
mean, I
no
don't know if we
Gablers.
want.
There was no Yam Yams.
No, no, there wasn't. I don't know if you are we just gonna start? I mean, we could just talk about anything or whatever in any
Well,
order.
You
let
can
me
talk
let
about
me
anything.
ask one thing of all of you as huge Survivor fans, but as we segue into fourth place, please, for the love of all that is holy, practice fire before you come out on Survivor. I don't need you to be the person in camp that's doing it constantly. I actually think it's probably better if you don't do that because people might be scared of going to Final Four with you. But also, first of all, 60, I cannot believe that 60% of people voted for fire. I'm very disappointed in
I
the
voted for
fan.
fire making.
Blame
That might be a
Isaiah.
hot
Blame
take. I
Isaiah.
voted for fire making. So
Isaiah was the swing vote, and that's why
no, but
we
let me
What
explain
even
why.
happens at this
I
time?
voted
Well,
for a
actually,
vote. Yeah.
that's a good thought. What do we think happens here? Does Rizzo go out 3-1 if it doesn't happen, if it's a vote?
Were
yeah.
they just all
Yes.
underestimated? Oh, yeah, Aubrey was safe. Never mind.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
yeah.
three
So
one.
Does Aubrey go 3-1 if she loses?
Aubrey goes
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-1, Rizzo goes
Yeah.
3.
Okay, that's
I'm
pretty
curious.
much guaranteed.
Who do we think wins that Rizzo, Jonathan, Joe final three?
That's a
Obviously,
good
it's not Joe,
question. I
but
have
is it
no
Rizzo or
idea,
is
to be
it?
honest. I think it could go either way. Like,
Dare I
Ugh, I hope
confidently
Jonathan wins
say?
that.
I feel like I'm confidently saying Jonathan, just because I
I
don't
hope
think
so.
literally at the end of the day, I don't think they're giving $2 million to Riz God. Like
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't.
I don't know. Like some people are like, "Oh, he's too young." He works in tech sales, but yeah, he does live with his parents. So I
Admittedly,
don't
I
know.
don't think Jonathan is that much older than him.
I don't think so.
I think
I think
Jonathan
Jonathan
might
is
be early
also wait,
30s.
Jonathan, how old is Jonathan? I don't
Comparing
I
the
think
skinny
um,
guy to the jacked guy. That's what this is all about. That's all it is.
but the
Yeah,
thing is, I don't
exactly.
even think, well, okay, let's just question here. Objectively speaking, though, do you guys, this is not like what we think the jury would have voted for or whatever. Do you guys think Rizzo played a good game? Or, well, do you think in that final three, Rizzo played the best game? I mean, I thought Rizzo was playing very well, but you have to kind of ask yourself, like, why did people just allow Rizzo to make it to the end with an idol? Is it probably because they didn't see him as a threat and he really didn't play as good of a game as we might have thought on TV, like watching it on TV?
No, Jonathan I
Mm,
think played better. Jonathan had people were always going to Jonathan. You know, what's the plan? What's the plan? What's the plan? And if you look at each vote, a lot of the votes that he was on the right side of like every vote. I think. I mean, when was he on? When did he get blindsided? The Charlie vote. Like that's it. I don't remember another time where he was left out. So, um, he'd actually like had a lot of control. And people were going to him, and he was like integral part of the game. Rizzo, I don't think people were taking him too seriously.
I agree. I mean, people like that's at the end of the
They
day,
didn't try and
that's
flush his idol. He had a public
well,
idol,
yeah,
and nobody
49
cared.
had a lot more like attention on Rizzo, and I think it was a lot more fear. I think the people on 50, like, even though I kind of, still don't love the way they casted it, I do believe every single one of them is smart enough to know how to split a vote. But at the end of the day, like, clearly stories and narratives matter a lot more to juries modern day. And I don't believe that Rizzo had one. I think he actually had a narrative that would make a lot of the old school people in particular upset of like, I'm gonna hold on to my idol and play this like under the radar game and just be like this kid. Whereas like Aubrey had the same sort of under the radar strategy, but then at the end of the day, like she had this story of coming all the way from Co wrong and everything like that. So I don't know, and it's hard to say like, oh, what would have happened if Rizzo made the end? Because at the end of the day, like he was never gonna win a challenge, and then like once Aubrey won that, whether it was fire or a vote, like he was always gonna go
I don't
home.
know. I feel like Rizzo stands a bit more of a chance than you guys would like think because he was closely aligned with like Cirie and Ozzy, and they had a huge impact on what happened throughout this season and a lot of votes and things like that. And I think he would have had some level of jury support, even if it is maybe just Cirie and Ozzy.
Mhm.
And Jonathan isn't particularly the most likable person out there, so
I
I don't
liked
know.
him.
I think there's a chance.
No, you're right.
I
I
don't
think it would
know.
have been close, like a very, very tight vote. I think it comes down to the faction of like, because I think like the Aussie Cirie go for Rizzo. Well, actually, I don't know about that. I don't know about Aussie though, because I saw like
Ozzy did
a
not
exit
like
interview that
Rizzo.
like I think he loses Aussie. I think it honestly comes down to the faction of like Devens, Emily, Christian type of vibe because it felt like the old schoolers were always going to go Jonathan, and then some of those like kind of new schoolers and like, everybody was always going to go Aubrey, Rizzo that route. Whereas they're kind of like in the 30s, it's almost symbolic of like they're in the middle of that, deciding like which kind of game they valued. But to be honest, like. Yeah, it's just that the problem is that they all had like a decent like nerd relationship with Aubrey, whereas like I didn't particularly see any like strong connection with any of them to Rizzo. Um,
Yeah, I think so. One question I want to posit is was there any chance you guys were surprised by any votes at FTC, or did you really see any actual sway in this? Because for me, I think once I saw the final three, Jonathan got the exact three votes I thought he was going to get, and the vote count was exactly what I thought it was going to be, 8-3. Yeah, but
I
my
made this at
only
10:35 before the live thing, and I got every single one.
Yeah, my only thought was I thought there was a chance, like maybe Jonathan could get a Rizzo because they seemed like they were on good terms. That they wanted to be in the final three together. Like maybe he gets a Christian because I pointed this out like last week talking to Isaiah. Christian did vote for Mike White at the end of the day when David versus Goliath. So I thought it wasn't an impossible chance. I really just felt like there was a couple maybes in my head, but then when the decks fell, it was just the exact way I was expecting.
Hmm.
I was just kind of eating my popcorn watching it. Like I wasn't like I didn't like create like I literally had popcorn too, but like I wasn't paying attention like who would vote each way. But yeah, I don't even know who they were. Like Chrissy voted for Jonathan, yeah.
Yeah,
Chrissy, Coach, and
it's just Steph,
Stephanie. Oh,
coach.
the honor and integrity
I
people.
knew Stephanie was. Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
Stephanie.
Steph
Which,
just
by the way, a whole big tangent glazing Jonathan. And then who is it? Tiffany asks, "Is there a question coming?" Which, by the way, like the juror can do whatever the fuck they want, Tiffany. Like they can do whatever they want with their time. Like Tiffany was no less biased, I think, against Jonathan than Stephanie was for Jonathan at the end of the day. But it did make me funny, or I did find it quite funny that they go through this whole tangent. Stephanie says there is a question coming, and then she ends, and there was no damn question at the end of that.
And she also, like, I will say, like, I didn't think that it was very tasteful of Tiffany to like be interrupting another juror in that sense, but then also like Stephanie went on the whole tangent was like, oh, we've got old school, we've got new school, and I think that you need to have both, and then proceeded to like congratulate Jonathan for cracking coconuts and like starting fires on the beach and everything. I was like, at the end of the day, like you're always gonna stick by your old values. That's why I went on my whole thing about Joe Hunter. Like he was always gonna play the exact same game and the exact same outcome happened. And at the end of the day, that's how it goes. And to be honest, like I think that Jonathan having so much support from the old school players and having that perception of the old schoolers was part of his inevitable downfall because I think that the old school gameplay is looked at as very like one-sided of, more honor integrity, kind of just, a straight line type of game. Whereas when you think about a new school player, they're a lot more dynamic. So him being described that way definitely probably did not help with his whole thing. Because especially, I'm not gonna lie, if I'm a juror on there and I'm undecided and I'm hearing like an old school person like Stephanie advocating for him because he cracked coconuts, I'm gonna start to look at it a lot more and be like, I'll pay a little bit more attention to what you're saying because this is what if this is what Stephanie's leaning for these reasons, then oh boy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's entitled entirely to their own opinion, but like, we've played some online Survivor games before. I've
We
been in the
have.
position we have. I know, surprising. We're nerds. Everybody, newsflash, we are nerds. We are Rizzo, whatever his last name is. We are what? Oh gosh, who was it in 46?
Below that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who are you
what
talking
was the
about?
guy's
Oh, Jelinski.
Jelinski. Yeah,
We
we
are
are
just
Jelinski. But like I have been there where I'm sitting at FTC and I know I have a good buddy on the jury who is about to glaze me. And I'm sitting there thinking, listen, I will take your vote, but please just shut up. You're gonna make other people not want to vote for me.
I'm trying to think of what else like that really did happen in the episode.
Well, I mean, one thing I shut up. I want to ask is Jonah, is it like I know we're talking about the I know your overall thoughts on this. We've been waiting a long time. We've been eagers waiting to hear Mr. JB Jonah Boyer's thoughts on season 50. So beginning to end, give me the cliff notes on how you felt about season 50.
well, obviously watching because the problem with your question, I could be sitting here. I don't think I would sit here for 50 minutes. It's unlikely. I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to. But I could just talk about like general part. I'm not going to go by player necessarily, but I talk about just some things said as well as some other things. So, I mean, I'm not going to go like one by one per player necessarily, but I can talk a little bit about just everything. So, I mean, first off, yeah, coming into the season, it was 50. I don't think the casting was perfect, but they tried their best with what they had, what they did. I think that if it's hands in the fans, maybe the fans should have just voted. Maybe they should have had like 52 people on a ballot, maybe, and then we just vote 24 in or something. That would have been cool. But I think that overall people were okay with the cast. I think that some people would have preferred maybe some more old school players from in between 18 and 32. There was nobody. The coach Aubry, like in between there was no one. So it was like really old school or really new school. But yeah, like okay, Jenna Lewis, she was the first one voted out. She played way too hard and she targeted Cirie, which I mean later on in the game, like she was kind of just running everything. Colby, it was really nice to see him back. I don't know if you guys saw it. Colby and Tina had a reunion at the reunion. That was cool. Um, Yeah. So Colby, I mean, it's just crazy. It's like a dinosaur being time bombed in the future, right? So it's really cool seeing Colby back. He never voted. He was voted out the first tribal that he was at, but he was kind of screwed by the blood moon. Maybe I'll get to that in a second. But the amount of twists this season was pretty insane. Like those like two split tribals. I mean, and
Can't wait for 51 where we've got every twist in 50 seasons. Wow.
It's the
the
open
Outcast
era.
twist
We're
and Edge of
doing Edge
Extinction
of
and Ghost
Extinction at the
Island and
final 19 and just the final 19. Fire tokens, they're in at the final 20. Oh, guess what's happening? Oh, that's right. It's the Outcast at final 6. It's going to be incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
it's not
And what's
every
this? It's the
twist.
legacy advantage, technically from Ghost Island 2. Oh my gosh, this is the best season ever. Put me on it.
The
Put me on
It's
every
not every
time.
twist, but I think what they're trying to say is any twist in the past could potentially be randomly introduced. Like they're going to be throwing random shit all over the place. Outcast twist, Edge of Extinction on 52 or 57. Like with
Oh,
advantages, like you could have any advantage, like extra votes and steal votes. It's pretty normal to have those being thrown in a season. But when Jeff says that, it kind of scares me because it's like, are they going back in the time vault? Could they just bring any twist back? So it makes me wonder, like, what are they going to do?
I think that's better than what we have now with the new era, where it's been the same exact copy and paste format that's been pretty stale. I think the having the unpredictability of knowing, I don't know, any possible twist and advantage from past Survivor seasons and like in play. I don't know. I think it's better than the new era, to be honest. I think it's nice that they're kind of changing things up. I wish we would have
Yeah,
had
I
a
just don't see any
theme.
twists. Like, I'm like, give us a tribe swap, give us 4 idols, give us a good cast. I'm happy. Like I'm not looking to have a whole bunch of advantages in the game, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, we don't have to talk about 51 right now, but yeah, I only talked about Jenna and Colby though. Um, okay, let's like yeah, Stephanie. I mean, it was cool seeing her back, I suppose. And, but they kind of just brought her back because it was like her first season. She was like they only brought her back because of her first season. It was a little bit like that with Aubry. But yeah, Stephanie was just kind of a random pick that they picked. It was kind of cool to see her back. Um, yeah, Cirie just it kind of felt like a fan edit with her. Like I understand the fans really like Cirie and like Cirie won the fan favorite. Oh my god, I'm so shocked. Like we knew that Cirie was gonna win that, but it was also because the editors were being very biased leading up to Final Six. They just made it like a Cirie fan edit. And we're talking about how Tiffany wasn't integral. It almost felt like no one was integral except Cirie. I don't know. I don't know how you guys interpreted the season, like, but it really did seem like for a lot of the season, it seemed like it was just a Cirie fan edit, and then there was just like nobody else that was like anywhere near as relevant. I mean, that's how I was looking at it, especially near the end. And I was kind of like thinking in the end, like anyone other than Cirie wins this, I'm be kind of mad because we're not being shown anyone else as much as I would like to. And they have an hour and a half, but they made this season just a lot of it about Cirie. Coach was, cringeworthy at points, but it was fun to see him there.
I love Coach.
Um,
Let's, bro.
Kyle's like, nope, nope, he's the
He's
king.
amazing.
He's
Best
amazing.
player. Hey, listen,
Yeah,
Coach cast the last vote of the first 50 seasons. He was the last vote cast. He's incredible. He was the last one to speak. Well, as a player, I'm pretty sure Jeff did a little watch this new season of this other show, and thank you for so and so and sponsoring Paramount. Don't cancel us, please.
well, it's nice to have characters. I mean, Coach was cast initially because of his character in Token Genes, obviously, and we have a lot of game bots coming in the season. You know, Early Christian. I don't know who else, like Rizo. These people are like they kind of come in. You're like, oh, they're just gonna be even Chrissy to an extent. Like they're just kind of like game bots coming in. So it's nice to see someone like Coach who's actually cast initially as a character, not a player. And I mean, it was really obvious when he was booted that he was going to go home, but he's just great television, absolutely great television. He was cringeworthy at points, like I said, but he was, yeah, he's very good television. So it was nice to see him back. He got like nothing. Chrissy got nothing. Like Chrissy was like, I wasn't surprised to see Chrissy back on the season. I don't know about you guys, but like I was like, they could have waited for a second chance season. But I always thought like before, like it's easy to like hindsight is always 2020. We can look back at the season and be like, oh, Chrissy was a dud. But realistically speaking, before Winners at War, Chrissy was like one of the main people that people were thinking about as like on a ballot for like a second chance season, right? So I knew that Chrissy would probably be on this season, but then she gets on, she doesn't get very much screen time. Coaches telling her that no one likes her and she's crying in a confessional and she gets no confessionals almost at all. It's like, and it's just like negative, and that's pretty much it for Chrissy. So there wasn't much going on with her. And then she was just kind of booted the episode that she was, and the episode that she was booted, it was all about Coach and nothing about Chrissy, and Chrissy just grabs her torch and then goes out. Like it's just
They
Chrissy
also
got nothing.
made Chrissy the other like the first one to go out before Coach. Like I don't even know if we ever got a reasoning behind
I
that. They
don't
just
think
said,
there
you know what?
was one. I think, people just
Alphabetical
like
order.
Coach more. Probably Jeff wanted to give Coach the honor of being the second person out that episode. I don't know.
Which yeah,
Alphabetical order.
I don't
Oh
you know
yeah.
what?
I
Like
loved Christian this season. Are we moving on from that, or again?
No, no, you go.
Yeah, I'm like literally just talking about
You
the whole
you
season,
got
but
miles of runway ahead of you, man. You go.
yeah, Christian was fun this season. I knew he would be. Christian was like, I mean, obviously he was going to be on the season. I didn't think they were going to wait for a second chance season. I knew Christian was going to be a lock. Like when they were casting the season, I don't remember if his name was coming up to. I think it was Rick Devens who his name entered the spoiler mill like later on. But Christian, I always kind of knew was going to be on. And Christian's just I love him. Like, he's so real. He's so authentic all the time. He plays well. I think that him getting frustrated with Emily flipping was great television. And his partnership with his duo with Rick Devens was good television. He's just very good at confessionals. Christian's fun. Even when he shit his pants on national television, like just the way that he told the story, like it's funny, you know. And Christian, the Jimmy Fallon, that it's funny how he like appeared on Jimmy Fallon like right after. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. Oh, it was.
You
Pay attention.
guys just want
What
me
the
to
fuck
yap
you
about
guys
every
doing? I see
player.
you looking down at your goddamn phones.
I was
Well,
like
I
listening to the podcast as if like I'm
Oh
like,
no, here's the
hold
fucking
on.
excuses
Okay,
coming in.
okay. I
It's
guess
just the Jonah
no.
yap set with everyone.
We can talk about. Honestly, is there really much to say about Joe? I feel like we talked about Joe already.
oh, there is
No, no,
so
no.
much.
I'm
Jonah wasn't
tired.
done.
I'm gonna go to sleep because of Joe. Sleepy
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah,
Hey, listen,
exactly.
I will stand in defense of Joe. I, for one, think at least at FTC and in his final moments showed more self-awareness than he was edited with the entire season. So I think that was probably there the whole time. We just weren't shown it because it really wasn't important. At the end of the day, he was a zero vote finalist. But he also just still was not great at the end of the day. Like, yeah, that little inkling of more self-awareness was, and at the end of the day, exactly what I just said, an inkling. It wasn't anything important. It really didn't have that great of an effect. And at the end of the day, the perception of him was so powerful, no speech was ever going to overcome that at FTC. It really didn't matter. Unless he's like Philip, what they wanted Philip to do, taking off the feather and saying this was all an act. If he was fully like,
Philip
I want
Shepard should
to,
have done Sprout 50.
yeah, Philip Shepard
Yeah.
over Joe on
No,
Survivor
he's
50.
no, no. I think he's kind of old. I think he's like in his like late 60s, and I saw that apparently he got like a surgery, like a hip replacement. I don't think he would
Yeah,
have
so he
been able
could
to go on
compete.
Survivor.
Listen, I
I
just
don't know.
want
They should have
Coach and
cast
Philip.
Reem.
For
I
52.
could just imagine Coach and Philip leading an alliance. That's my dream in Survivor. I need that.
Amazing. Um,
Yeah.
Can I
yeah.
talk about like the players one by one, or do you guys want to continue talking about the finale?
No, you keep going, Jonah. You got this.
Yeah, I don't like. I want to give my thoughts and like I don't know how else to do it other than just talk about the players. But like I really liked Christian, and I was pretty sad when he was voted out. But I knew he wasn't going to win. Like that was pretty obvious. Angelina didn't get much screen time. She was just kind of voted out. There's
We're
not much to say
going back
about
to
that.
Angelina now.
Yeah, you still want to talk about Christian?
No, no, I thought you were going player by player, and then we went from Christian to Angelina.
Yeah, you wanted more substance from Christian. I'm not sure what to say, but I'm a big Christian fan, and I was sad to see him go. I knew he wasn't going to win though.
I love
Um,
Christian.
yeah, I mean, I think like as a player, I'd probably say coming into the season, him and Emily Flippin, I think were probably the worst players on the cast. I don't know. Like I think
Wait,
Tiffany was
who
low
and
on
Emily flipping?
Christian, Emily Flippin, and Tiffany. I would say like coming into the
Are the
season, I was like they're
worst
not as
players?
good players. Coming into the season, yes.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Wait,
I think they all
you're
have their
putting like
distinct flaws, but I say the
Coming into the
worst.
season, I'm saying Emily Flippin, Christian, Tiffany, worst on the cast.
Hmm.
wait,
I would say wait, who do you,
in what I'm lost.
No, not as casting choices, as players.
You're saying they played the worst three games.
coming
Christian,
in.
No, they were the
Weren't they
worst three
one-time players?
players going into the season, is what he's saying, which I don't
yeah.
Yeah,
agree with,
Um,
but that is what he's saying.
wait,
seventh place, and eighth place. Like that's all I was
Christian,
saying.
Tiff, and who?
Emily.
Emily.
Emily, yeah.
Can I ask how Joe, as a third place finisher on his other season, like what puts him above Christian Ubicki?
No, it's a good question. Well, Christian did get a lot of votes, right? Like he got a lot of votes. Um, but I think like Joe, he had that's kind of what it is. Like Christian was just constantly targeted, and he was never making it to the end. I think it was a miracle that he even made it that far, and he was saved by Davy's idol. The Elizabeth vote, he was targeted. Like every vote, he was like a target. With Joe, it seemed like he had a lot of control, but that also might have been the edit. I'm very confused watching this season. Like I'm like, was
Yeah.
Joe running anything? Because based off of the edit that we saw in 48, it seemed like Joe's a big jury threat. He's controlling things, and he gets to the end and he doesn't get any votes. So based off of what I saw, it seemed like it was more of Kamilla and Kyle's game than more of their season than Joe and Eva's season. But a lot of the time, just based off of how they were editing, it didn't seem that way. Kamilla and Kyle were much quieter duo. But based off of the edit, it seemed like Joe did have control over things, and Christian just had no control in David versus Goliath. He was just targeted over and over again. He was a character. He's not a player. And this season, I actually think he might have played better because he actually pulled off move. He did the Mike White vote, and it was very impressive. It was big move-itis for sure, but he actually did things. In David versus Goliath, Christian was just targeted over and over again. He was never making it to the end.
Yeah.
That's the main reason.
Um, yeah, it's interesting because like I think that one of the biggest debates is because okay, my philosophy that I'll always have, and I don't expect anybody to agree with me. I believe that the winner is the best player of every season. They do exactly what the goal is. They play the game to get to the end, and then they're able to convince.
Maybe not Chris Underwood, but I kind of get where you're going with this.
Well, Chris
Not Chris
Underwood
Underwood, but
for
Chris Underwood's the
me.
only exception for me. But I
Like
understand what you're saying.
yeah, no, I totally get it because like at the end of the day, I feel like Chris and honestly any winner that could apply, no matter what it is, Redemption Island as Extinction. Like I disagree with the like fundamental of, or I guess the mechanic of getting voted out and then coming back into the game, especially the way that Chris did, like the way that Natalie did in Winners at War. Like I don't even know how she got a vote. Like that was insane. Uh,
People on the jury that didn't know Tony. I mean that
No,
was a big
yeah,
reason
that's
for it.
true. I do
yeah,
agree with that. I
crazy.
find it really hard to vote for somebody that you've never actually had any sort of interaction with, you've never played the game with or spoken a single word to at all. I can kind of understand that. Like, yeah, how can you vote for that person to win if you never, I don't know, interacted with them in any way?
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
totally
get
get
it.
it.
And Natalie did
But
play
I
a really
do.
good edge
Yeah,
game.
Stallings, I do agree with you though that coming into the, like now after retrospect, looking at Joe, this guy is terrible at the game. Like I was texting like Brady a lot of the time throughout the episode, and we were just talking about how bad Joe was at the game. Like that's it. Like it just that's all they were. We were just it was cruel. Like we were just laughing at Joe like the whole time. But
Uh,
yeah, so he's not. He's just not. I'm more convinced now that 48 was Kyle and Camilla's season.
Thank
It's
you.
just, yeah, I mean, even if you do run the whole thing, if you genuinely have agency over every single thing that happens in the game and you still cannot get the jury to vote for you, there was a huge flaw
Okay.
somewhere, especially in the new era, just because like they should value the outwit, outplay, outlast. They should value like the gameplay of it all. And that's really why I have such a critique about Joe. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that he's the first player now to ever get third place twice. And it's just like that's not coincidence.
I
You'll be
do.
right about that.
Okay. I do have a question for Stallings. Does your whole philosophy on that, in terms of like the person that wins the game deserves to win or whatever, does that also hold true with the fandom? I'm just curious. I know it's a bit off topic, but
Oh, with
just
like
online Survivor the fandom, yeah. Do you share that
um
same opinion?
so for example, like every winner of a Phantom game deserves it.
Yes.
The thing is, it's tough because on one hand, you have the matter of like you are literally playing the exact same format of the game. You just vote people out and then you expect them to vote for you. I think the part that really weighs heavily on me is that they're playing for $1 million and that they're surviving the elements of, not eating, not sleeping well, and everything like that. So it's meant Survivor was designed to be a social experiment in that sense, and a part of that social experiment, like most of that social experiment, is taken away in fandom games because you're from the luxury of your own home, and you're also you might be competing for like $50, maybe 100 if the host is generous, but at the end of the day, like when you're playing Survivor, when you're convincing that jury to vote for you, their decision is to give somebody arguably life-changing money. And that does play a factor, and also the relationships that you authentically, and also the other thing that I have against fandom games is the fact that most of them, especially the ones that we played back in the day, you're playing with the exact same people. You're playing with people that you're friends with outside of the games. You're playing with people that you've played games with many, many times before. So I'd have to think on that one, but um, it would be really tough. I don't necessarily know right now off the top of my head if I could give you a concrete answer on that. Um,
I
that's a
agree.
Well, you played the season you're on. I mean, we can look at the seasons of CBS Survivor. It's like, do I think Chris Underwood's the worst winner of all time? Yes, but does that mean that I think Bob Crowley didn't deserve his win? It's like, well, no, he got the votes. He got the 7 people in the jury. He got 4 votes. He wins. So the goal of Survivor is how you win the $1 million. Is you need to get to the end and convince the jury. That's the game. Like that's all that the game is. So if you do that, you deserve your win. But a lot of the time when people will say like, oh, you don't deserve this win, they'll say like, oh, someone else got twist fucked and that's why you lost. The luck is always part of the game. I think it's 60% luck, 40% skill. There's a lot of luck involved. Aubry wins co-wrong if Joe didn't get medevac because of eating too much steak at a reward. Because it's like, well,
crazy.
Michelle wouldn't have won any challenge. Because I think like Ty was like, it's hard to explain, but like Ty was like more in the lead of the next one, and Michelle would have gone home, and then Aubry wins the game. But it's luck's always, it's just part of the game. Like if Neil hadn't been medically evacuated, Aubry probably goes home in 11th place. So it's like there's always luck involved. There's always random things that might happen in the game, and you don't know for sure what's going to happen. So you have to kind of just play the season that you're on. And, they say it's a social game, it's a strategic game, it's a physical game. But I really do think skill is only 40% of the ordeal. I think that luck is 60% of it.
You got
It's
to know your jury. That's the whole like part of the dilemma of how do you vote people out and still convince them to vote for you. You got to get to know them on the island. You got to understand what they do value and how you can convey. It's almost like in a weird way applying for a job. Happy post-grad season to all my, fellow postgraduates out there. Um, you're tailoring your resume to fit the thing that you're applying for. You're applying to be the survivor winner when you get to that end game, and you have to assess, okay, like how am I going to describe my game to these people? We saw that happen in South Pacific where Coach could have described his game a lot differently and probably taken home the whole thing, but the way that he conveyed it has now haunted the narrative for years of his story just because he wasn't able to do that. Um, we have gone very, very far outside of this world of the Survivor 50 finale. I'm wondering if you guys
Trust
have
me,
any.
I'm like
we've
okay
gone
with that
further
though
off
because I feel
track
like
before.
because they've already talked about the whole
Oh, yes,
season.
we
It's like
have.
and then like this okay, well this finale it was like there isn't really much to say anyways. It's like Tiffany was mad. Joe
Joe was
Joe
Joe.
didn't like Joe didn't play. I don't know if you guys can hear that alarm, but Joe Joe just it's further solidified that he's not that good at the game. Which I mean, I think like during during 48, it kind of seemed like he was good at the game, but now it's pretty obvious it was just Kyle and Kamilla's season. Very happy for Aubry. Well, let's talk about the car. I want to talk about the car
Okay,
reward.
yeah.
out of nowhere. It was very
That
random. It
was
was kind
so
of funny.
weird.
It
Just
was just out of
Aubrey's like
nowhere.
she had to be excited running for so long to get there. They had to cut away from her and cut back from when she got there.
Colby, the car curse. You didn't win. You won the car and you didn't win the game. I'm gonna prove the car curse is broken. Aubrey, you win a car. It's like you already won $2
Yeah,
million
wait,
dollars.
how does
My
that how does
yeah,
that
well, my biggest thing is that like
curse?
kind of asterisk to this. She didn't win the car. She won Survivor and then she got given a car. Like, if you really want to say this curse is broken, Boston
Exactly.
Rob won the car and then won another season. Like, that counts more than I think this Aubrey thing did, because at least or he actually won a car.
Yeah, that doesn't really count. Like that's just actually kind of proving the theory again that
It's like
like
it's a nice fan moment, like fun enough, sure, like nice little callback, ooh, fun, but like whatever.
I liked the Ozzy shirt. That was funny, I suppose. Like that's
Poor
something.
Ozzy,
Like
man.
I
it was
just
nice of them to do that because he probably has a lot of PTSD. Cirie getting a reward. I mean, like we're not going. Cirie needs to have a send off because this is the last time we're going to see her. Like she's not playing again. She's not going to play a sixth time.
Yeah.
So them like praising the hell out of Cirie. Some people might have been like, "Oh, it's too much. We're giving her too much. We're giving her some trophy, $100,000." But this is it. You know, she's going after this, and she's the best player to never win, bar none. It's pretty obvious to me.
Of course.
So especially after this season. So I think that them just letting Cirie, giving her massive applause and everything deserved. I wasn't mad about that. I didn't think it was like cringe that they were giving her so much praise over everyone else. But yeah, I mean Survivor's already done a lot for her. I mean, it would have been like would have felt like it would have made more sense for the $100,000 person to like be like a two-time player. I mean, maybe, but maybe I would have been more satisfied with that. But like, it's pretty obvious that it was going to be Cirie. Um, so yeah, I thought the car thing was weird, but I mean, I don't know. I thought the Aussie shirt was funny, and the trophy was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say I wouldn't be so sure that this is really gonna be the last time we see Cirie on Survivor. I know she said it herself that this is the last time she's gonna play, but how many times have we all on this Zoom call have said this is the last Survivor game we'll ever play, and yet
well,
we still play games after we say that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Cirie again, especially with how popular she is. So. And she
I'm sure
seems
if
to get a
Cirie
I
lot
got
of
haven't played
time
a
tickets,
off
game in
work.
about 3 years, but
listen,
shouldn't have
I'm
to.
sure if season 60 comes around, Cirie will be 60. If she gets that call, I am sure she'll be there. Cirie gets so much time off work. I'm pretty sure she spends more time playing reality TV than she does working as a nurse. I think I said that last week. I'll reiterate it again. I am sure we will see Cirie again in reality TV somewhere, and I'm like 85% sure it'll be Survivor.
Okay,
Even I was gonna say, like, even though I think a lot of people kind of think that the season was okay, like it wasn't the best All-Star season, it wasn't the best season in general. It was just fine. I could see a lot of people from this season coming back to play again. I
Yeah,
think
I
Rick
there's a
think
lot
this
Devens.
of
is where
Rick Devens is
we'll.
coming
I
back.
think this
Jonathan
season
might.
because Yeah, I think this season, because we've waited so long for returnees, is really a legacy making season for a lot of people. And was it like, yeah, it's supposed to be like the send off for all the people that already have those legacies from back when we used to get fairly frequent returnee seasons. So, like, Devens builds his legacy this season, Christian does. I think Jonathan kind of. I think Jonathan still just feels like another player in the Survivor pantheon. He doesn't feel like anything special to me, really. But I mean, yeah, I'm sure we
My
could see
gut
him
tell. I
again.
think Jonathan will play again. My gut. I feel like he will.
Well,
I think Rick Devens
he
and Christian.
certainly
It seems
seems
more
to
likely that
agree. He certainly seems
I
to
I
I
agree.
don't
think
I don't think that's like out of the realm of possibility. I don't know. I thought Jonathan played a good solid game on an
he
all-star
did.
season. Like I
He
think he
did. I
can
think he did
come back.
better than I thought he would.
Yeah, he hit the worm and threw up.
dude, if we're talking about
Big
like
moves.
mark my words, Cirie will be back. Mark my words, Rizgod is coming back.
That's
Like
Oh
another
there's
yeah,
one.
we'll see
no
Rizgat
way
again.
they let him go out twice in the same placement and don't bring him back again. Like Dare, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, like he absolutely is now like a Survivor legend. Like no one else goes out there and besides maybe Coach and Philip Shepard and everything like that. Like people don't act like that. And it's the craziest thing how he had pretty much a very similar story. Like he had the idol and then he kept it to five and then he lost fire again. Like it's just I feel like they'd be so intrigued to try and see him have a different outcome. I would love to see Charlie Davis try again. I think after he
Yeah,
might honestly be have like an Aubrey story of like he gets second place and then he gets like a boot. Like I consider Charlie's like Aubrey's on Edge of Extinction just because like first tribal he went to gone. Like I could totally see him being a great addition for I
I
actually
could,
thought
I could, I could see Tiffany coming back too.
I
I
could
really think.
see
I
yeah.
think the
Kyle
production
coming
really
back.
likes her.
Kyle didn't really
Oh
get to
yeah,
play this season, and he got Medevaced,
Oh,
and I
I
thought
totally
I thought he was
forgot
doing really
about
well too. The little time we did see him on 50. Savannah also, I mean, she never really had a chance coming into this season, but I think they gave her as much of a chance as they could have given the circumstances. I don't know. I think a lot of people from this season we could potentially see again in the future.
That is a horrible, horrible situation. Like, I give her credit for even surviving the first vote. Like, you win the last season and no one gets to see how you won. Like, how would she have ever been able to like get to the end of the game? Like, that's got to be the most dangerous thing you could ever think of. Like, you just won last season and I have no idea how you did it. Like, are you kidding me?
She
Like
didn't seem too sad when she was booted. She seemed like okay with it, super grateful for the experience, and like I knew Savannah was kind of cooked on exile.
She won like 2 weeks prior. You know what I mean? She was a millionaire like 2 weeks ago. Like, she's probably still on that high, which is crazy that they had like Rizzo go out there right again. Like that guy's already like as skinny as can be. Like, goodness gracious, they're gonna kill him.
It is
So
pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy that they threw him out there and he gets fourth place the first season, and then he has 11 days in between. I think it was 11 days, and then they just maybe
I thought
even
it was
9 days,
9.
and then they just nine. Thanks. So 9 days, and then he goes right back out, and then it's already a pretty lean guy,
yeah. Like
obviously, like you said. Then he gets fourth place again.
When Rizzo got to Final Four again, he had literally been in that exact same spot like a month and a half ago. Like
Crazy.
this has got to have been a whirlwind of a summer for Rizzo.
yeah, that's a rough ride, man. I feel bad for him.
And he kept his energy and he kept a smile the whole time. Props to him.
Yeah.
But go
Oh.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think this time though, he definitely did tone down the RIZGOD Riz God Baby. I think he was aware of the people he was playing with this time around, and I think he,
Yeah.
course corrected, like he said early in the season, and decided that, this isn't gonna fly. This people aren't gonna be a fan of this. So I think we only ever heard him say the Riz God Baby thing like during the finale in a confessional. I don't think we ever really heard it all
No,
that much.
I think we probably heard it a few times.
Oh, I don't know. Definitely less
We're
than
That's
now gonna
29.
watch
that's
Rizzo
all they
lose
knew about
fire.
him was from that one little promo. Like, I am Riz God. Like that's all that they got about him. So, all the
Yeah.
power to him.
I'm curious. So, who amongst this cast do you really just not want to see back at all? Because
Good
for me,
Joe
like,
question.
Hunter. Joe
yeah,
Hunter.
Joe Hunter. Yeah, I could give Joe Hunter like 5 years and maybe he'll mature a little
No,
bit.
no, he will. In
No, I
five
think
years,
he's
he will
stuck
be
in his ways.
worse.
Yeah,
5
for
years he'll
me,
have grandkids or something, and then it'll be even worse. Like,
I'm out here for my grandkids this time. I want to set an example for them. But yeah,
so
no,
I
for
will
me,
absolutely not be lying this time. Like that's what he's gonna. Jonah, you said Christian, right?
Like as a player, I think Christian it will be back, but I don't. I think he's a character. I don't think he's a player. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. Are you talking? What do you mean? What do you mean? You talking like? Do I
who
think he'll be
don't
The
you
back,
want to
or do
see
I
person that
think
you
back?
he's one of the
really
Like,
worst
don't
who
want to
players?
don't
see come back. Yeah.
yeah, who don't you want to see come back? Not their
No, Christian would be
likelihood of
fun.
coming
I would
back.
like. I like Christian.
Um, I
For
would.
me, I
Oh.
think just from their experience on this season, yeah, sure they got under-edited, but I do not need to see Angelina come
I
back.
was gonna
Everything that
say
we saw from
Angelina.
Yeah,
That was
her
gonna be my
this was her
pick.
was
opportunity.
just her trying to hit the highlights of her previous season, trying to recreate those moments, and then she just followed her friend Mike White. Like that's all she contributed thing to this season, I think.
Also,
I don't want to see Stephanie play a fifth
oh,
time.
Yeah.
I agree with
So
that too.
Stephanie's definitely on my list. That's a good
Uh,
question. I mean, I think it's a good question, but yeah, Stephanie would be pretty obvious for me, and I just think it would be a waste of a casting spot to give her a fifth chance. And then Jenna Lewis, I just don't think she's good enough for the game. They wanted a Borneo representative, but she played way too hard, did too much. I don't think she's very good at the game.
mhm.
It was a different time back then, but yeah, the way how she was booted, it was just that seemed like very quick and obvious. I don't want to see Jenna Lewis back. I don't want to see Stephanie back. And I don't need Angelina back. I thought Angelina was pretty boring on this season, to be honest.
I
And
think
I
Some
we
people
also
are
don't
just
need to
really good
see,
the first time and then they come back and it's like,
yeah, like a player like I don't need to see Chrissy back. I don't think. I just
yeah.
like I
Uh,
think we kind of see the extent of her. Like
not going
I
from
don't
that.
think she'd change anything on a third try. I think it's just kind of like whatever. I'm happy she got her chance to come back, but like yeah, it's just kind of a whatever presence on this season.
I was gonna
Q I
say.
need to see back though. I want
uh,
Q back.
A Q, yeah, would be good. I
Yeah.
was gonna say, honestly, Aubrey. I don't think we need to see Aubrey come back. I think her
Aubrey
Survivor
can come
arc is
Oh,
back then
complete.
for like season
But she already
for
won.
65.
What's she going to do when she plays again? She already won the game. So
Maybe
it's
like
not.
winners at War 2 or something. If they get that
If they
far,
ever
she'll
do
pop
that,
back
which
in.
I would like to think they do that, but I don't think they will. I just feel like Aubrey's overall story arc over her, time, her 4 seasons of being on Survivor is complete. I mean, I think it's kind of funny and ironic that Aubrey did win this season in a Michelle type way. So it's kind of like a full circle moment. I don't know, very much
What do
like
you mean by
Michelle.
that?
Very much like Michelle, I thought Aubrey was kind of like the underdog on the bottom, didn't lacked a lot of agency and control. I felt like Michelle didn't do much, and she said it herself that she only started really doing things at the very tail end like of the game, just like Michelle. So, and also she also brought up the fact that like, oh, I need to make sure that I'm putting the right people on the jury. She put a lot of attention on who she's going to sit next to this time around. I feel like maybe that's something Michelle thought about. I don't know. I think she played a very Michelle-esque game, which is kind of ironic. It's funny.
Do you guys think that either of Rizzo or Tiffany beat Aubrey at the end?
yeah.
I think
Uh,
Tiffany does, maybe not Rizzo.
oh no. Okay, I think Aubrey beats Rizzo. I think Tiffany, yeah, exactly what Isaiah said. I have a crazy hot take.
Yeah, say
May not be that hot, but in terms of who I don't need to see back, and this also goes towards like, in my opinion, one of the worst players this season. I don't need to see Ozzy come back. That guy was going to be a train wreck if Cirie wasn't there. He literally didn't, he was without Cirie for that one vote and then didn't play his idol even after like everything was going on around him, spilled out his whole game to Aubrey. I feel like now that that's happened twice to him, I feel like he's had a lot of chances to come back and play Survivor. And at the end of the day, like this new version of Ozzy that Jonathan was hyping up was literally just him piggybacking off the strategy of Cirie and having that like he is the exact same old Aussie the second that he's stripped away from her. So
at times too. Like it's
I'm
fine.
good on him,
South
man.
Pacific. Ozzy was fun in South Pacific. He got to play twice after that because production liked him because of his South Pacific performance. Some people just they kind of get luck of the draw. You know, like I look at someone like Cirie, and I think a big reason why she played a fifth time was because she got to come back a fourth time because of her second time she played. But she was a bit of a dud in Heroes versus Villains. So just so long as production remembered her for Game Changers based off of Micronesia, they brought her back for Game Changers, and then she got a fifth shot. It's kind of similar with Ozzy. You know, South Pacific,
Yeah.
he got to play that third time. If he didn't get to play that third time, he wouldn't have been remembered as much, and he may not have came back for Game Changers. Definitely not 50. So, yeah, I mean, Ozzy's played 5 times. You know, what are we going to get from him from a sixth time? I thought Ozzy was like fun this season. He was like strategic and good, and he made it. He made it further than I thought, to be honest with you. But he's gone home idle in his block twice, and I don't know. I'm surprised that he was that naive that he couldn't Aubrey would have gone home in eighth place too if that
Yeah.
that
The other
played.
Yep.
thing is like his performance on South Pacific, while like I remember being an ode like when I was first watching the show, I watched that season, I was like, oh my gosh, like he's so awesome. Like I love Ozzy. If you think of it from like the technical standpoint, if Redemption Island didn't exist on that season, like he doesn't even come close to being able to do any of that. And it's just like like that was his I don't know. Obviously Cook Islands,
Yeah. Are we
but
just having like an Ozzy is overrated rant right now? It's
I
that's
think
my
Ozzy's
personal thing.
properly rated, to be honest. I don't think the fan base
okay.
really views him as like a top tier player. I do want to mention Stallings. I think you said something about, or I don't know if this is right, that you think the person voted out shouldn't win the game. Now, Ozzy did get voted out in South Pacific, but that was intentional. It was a strategic move. It wasn't like a mistake. He told his tribe to vote him out to knock out a number from the opposing tribe, so that way his tribe would have the majority. Now, if Ozzy makes it to FTC and claiming that as a move, do you hold that against him? Because there was intentionality behind that.
Um, Yes, I do. Just because for obviously I hate the whole nature of like a Redemption Island Edge of Extinction thing. It's almost like yes, you have to battle people in challenges, but it's the same dynamic as the Edge of Extinction where you are literally outside of the game. They cannot vote you out when you are on Redemption Island. Like they have nothing that they can do about that. And the fact that they had to vote all what did they have to vote Ozzy out 3 times on
Yes, they did.
South
Yep.
Really
Pacific,
funny. Yeah.
like it's like that. So that's even worse than like what we've seen on Edge of Extinction. Like they like this guy got voted out like 3 times, and yes, the first one was intentional in that sense, but it was just like I 100% hold that against him because and you know what though, but like I will say I would challenge my philosophy if the only time he was voted out was intentional to do that. That I 100% would probably put a lot of my biases aside for, but looking at it from that perspective, like yeah, no, I mean
Yeah,
too.
no, actually, I think that's a better way of phrasing it. Yeah. I guess the way I was asking that question was if that was the one and only time he got voted out, where it wasn't a
Yeah, no,
mistake.
I
It was
would definitely, I mean, shit, like it's my ideology, but it's not like something that I would never ever go against because I think and Redemption Island is slightly different than Edge of Extinction in that sense because like you are fighting for your life, but also you've likely been able to like interact with the people and you've gotten to meet them and everything like that, whereas EOE like Reem is on the jury and she's got to choose whether she votes for Chris Underwood, who she spent the whole time with, or Gavin Whitson, who she never met. Like that's that still blows my mind to this day. But yeah, what do we
um
think, Phil?
I
What do we
was
think about
gonna,
that?
I just thought about something that actually has to do with the finale. I thought what they did, which with the loved ones
Really?
visit,
Wow.
I thought what they did with the loved ones visit was very nice. Unexpected. I didn't think they would ever bring the loved ones visit back because of the budget. I'd be fine, honestly, if this is how we get the loved ones visit moving forward. Only the final three get that opportunity. It's a brief moment. I would not be against that at all.
Oh, I want it back. That's for sure. I want the loved ones visit back to Survivor Classic. I don't know why they didn't bring it back until now. I mean, they want to like bring all the classic stuff back for 50. And I think they did an okay job at that. I mean, the auction was back, three tribes. There weren't too many winners on the
Three
season.
tribes is
One
best,
tribe swap.
baby.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that, but it's like it was like the only problem I really had, like the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol, I did not like. Um,
Which we will see again in the future. I promise you, we most likely will see that come back.
I
Hopefully
think the
it's just a
fans will complain
boomerang
about it
idol.
enough, or it won't happen. I don't know. Like I think
I
even
would
Billie
be
Eilish
okay
left
with
it.
seeing it back,
Wasn't
but
too
please
into it.
just call it the Boomerang Idol. We don't need to call it the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol every
I
single
don't
time.
think that they would call it the Billie Eilish Boomerang, just for like, advertising purposes and everything. Like they don't let them wear like brands and stuff when they go out there. So I think like if Billie Eilish is like they would if Billie Eilish was in include in that season, it would literally have to be because she was like purposefully involved, which I don't know if they would try and do again, just because it feels like a big like advertising cameo.
Fucking shit twist. Genevieve was robbed. Taking
Yeah, I
the
mean, finds two idols and then gets voted out, and she was also in that Blood Moon twist, which was
like,
absolutely
can we
Oh,
name a player that was like more robbed than her, like in Survivor history?
I don't.
Cirie.
Well, Cirie, yeah, that's another answer.
Probably
Micronesia are game changers.
Chrissy
Oh,
Hoffbeck. Oh, I'm talking about game changers. I would probably say Chrissy in 35, just because like
Wow.
you
was
out
she
of
really
nowhere
robbed
they
though?
introduce like, well, for Chrissy, like you get to Final Four and you've played the whole game according to the principles that you're aware of, and then they randomly, after the challenge is already over, after the Final Four has already been decided like that, you
Stallings,
introduce.
she wasn't going to win though.
I
It would have
was
been
gonna
Devin.
say, if
If
anything,
Ben
I
goes at
think
four, Devin wins.
Devin was more robbed
Oh,
than Chrissy.
really? I never looked into the things about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, Devin wins 100%.
Mind. Then I don't even know why she was brought back for this season. Then she wasn't even win. But
Well, she was technically
Uh,
like a power goat, a strategic goat,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's no. Devin said blood versus water with his mom, but like realistically speaking, I would rather have Devin back than Chrissy. Devin I would love to see back. He was he was fun on Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. He was
I think
strategic. He
we'd
was
see
good.
him for like another second chance, quite likely.
yeah. Blood versus water.
He wants to.
Isaiah, the about the loved ones thing, the only reason that I would put it where it was normally at is because I think it does add the strategic and emotional layer to it where like the person who wins the thing has to choose, and that we've
Yeah, that's
seen
a
on
good point.
previous seasons that that does. It also does show your cards in that sense because you pick people for like the most like emotional reward, that it really does get to people a little bit. I don't know if it would have the exact same impacts that it used to have on like the old era, just because I think new era people, and also 26 days is not as long, so they might not have the same impact. But like I, yeah, it was a little weird because it's almost like I feel like giving it to them at the final three is like it's almost like, okay, I've worked this hard and now like my whole drive is to do this for my family and everything. Like I've gone as far as I need to go, and I feel like it's almost like a little bit of a relief that they give them at the very end. That's almost like, okay, I just lost some of my drive because I just got to see my family. And you could argue the other end that it pushes them more, but it's almost like it's more interesting if it happens a little bit earlier, and that like gives them the drive that they need to push all the way to the end, or if it reveals somebody's cards that they need to flip the game around because of it. But I just do love it though. It's a cute little segment. I think it's really, really impactful for Survivor. I don't know why Big Brother doesn't do more of things like that. Like they usually do like a video and that's it. Like I think that they could
Mhm.
really use something like that because fans love that. They eat that up.
Remember in Borneo where Jenna Lewis didn't get her like loved
Her
ones video
kid.
and everyone else did?
Uh-huh.
Maybe just bring videos back. Well, they actually did do videos for 41 and 42. 42, they aired it. 41, they left it completely off the air. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but you know how in 42 they played the videos at the sanctuary?
Yes, I do
Um,
remember that. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
I assume that was because
Yeah.
of like COVID and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, anyway, 41, they just left it out. Now they just do letters before this season where they brought the loved ones visit back in the most unexpected way possible. I like the loved ones visit.
I
It's
could do
good.
without
It
it.
emotionally connects you to players. I like it.
I was gonna say, is there anything else that we need to talk about for the finale? We could talk
We
about,
had that brand new, never before seen challenge element, the fishing
oh, the
pole.
fishing pole. That's like whatever.
Oh boy. It's
Holy
literally
I
shit.
was
just
gonna
grab the
say,
thing with
I
the
guess
Like,
hook.
sorry, I'm lost. What are we talking about?
the fishing pole in the final five challenge.
It's like they were at the top of the thing and they gotta lower it down so they scooped up the machete. Jonathan got it first. Like
Okay.
You know? Well, it's also like it's literally the exact same thing as when they used to throw like the grappling hook out and then have to like
So
re
Yeah.
thank God Cirie was not there, or she would still be there.
yeah, it's I don't I they really focus on quite the interesting stuff. Like that was you could tell he was so proud of like this fishing hook. Like uh,
Uh,
Tiff was one, oh my God, Tiff was one piece away. I think that's what gets me the most is like that's really, really crazy. Like
And listen, we were one piece away from having an all new era Final Four of season 50.
Yeah, you really feel for these players whenever they just like,
And then you
cheat
gotta think,
against
I
$2
mean,
million mistake. And
maybe Tiffany wins final immunity, but maybe she doesn't, and then like goes up against Jonathan in fire making, and then we get the Rizzo Jonathan Cho final three.
honestly, I think that's a good point, bringing up how the we could have had a new era Final Three. I wouldn't even be surprised if part of the reason why Aubrey won tonight is because people didn't want to vote for a new era player to win the
Yeah,
game.
there's probably a very likely like an old era bias from some people, you know.
Yeah, to represent, season
that's why
15.
I'm saying that Rizzo was in huge trouble if he made the end because he might be the embodiment of the new era. Like like that's he is like the stereotype of what all of the old schoolers probably don't like about the new era of like the cockiness and the odd weirdo, like, I'm naming myself, like I'll do all this kind of
would you
stuff.
compare Rizzo to Zelensky or no? Even not going to compare him. I wouldn't compare him.
Um,
That's what it kind of sounds like that's what you're doing, but I
no,
wouldn't.
yeah, like low key, I mean, if Jelinski made it far, it's kind of the same vibe of like creating this character for yourself and want you're that super fan that really wants to be known and I want to stand out and everything like that. Whereas like I think fans and also players in that sense would rather vote for somebody that made a name for themselves, not by their own words, but maybe by like their actions, in that sense.
Um,
All right.
I was gonna
Okay,
say,
well,
oh,
oh, go ahead.
oh,
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna
I was gonna
say,
move into the draft, so
oh, the
go right ahead.
draft.
With
Okay, I
draft, we
guess
can
we could
talk.
talk
Okay.
about the draft.
All right, well, good news. We have a winner of the draft. I calculated this before the finale aired, running through the different possible combinations. And it was very clear one person was basically guaranteed to win no matter what. So I'll run through really quickly. So we have Tiffany go out 4-1. That's plus 20 for Tiffany getting fifth place, -4 for an overall score of 16, and then -1 for Aubrey getting that one vote. That put us at Isaiah with 14 points, Stallings in the lead with 35 points, and me in a very respectable second place with 20 points. Then we lose Rizzo in fire making. A clean 21 points for Isaiah. That tied Isaiah and Stallings at 35 points apiece, and me still at my measly 20. With each of us with one representative in the final three. Isaiah with Aubrey, me with Jonathan, and Stallings with Joe. So Joe gets last place. No votes at FTC, meaning no extra points, a clean 22 points. I get 26 points, 23 for his placement, 3 votes for Jonathan to win, and Isaiah gets 24 points plus 8, making the final score an unfortunate late game bow for me as I end up in last place with 46 points. In second place, a shocking loss, a terrible loss. It's Stallings
Oh,
with 58 points and coming away with the victory in the finale alone was in last the entire season. Wins in the finale is Isaiah with 67 points. Oh, 6-7. He planned it.
Six, seven, six, seven,
Isaiah,
six,
give
oh,
seven.
us your thoughts
Joe
on your
went
win.
through,
This is
man.
more
What
exciting
happened?
than Aubrey's win. This is more of an underdog story. You were down and out the entire season from Jenna Lewis onward. How do you feel?
I think it's very poetic that my whole story arc with the draft is very reminiscent, very similar to Survivor. Aubrey's win and her story arc throughout the season. I was in dead last, down in the dumps, but you know what? At the finale, I secured the win and I bounced back. So,
All right. Well,
it just
Michael
goes to show you,
Stallings.
doesn't
Oh,
matter how you start. What matters is how you finish. So,
All right,
yeah.
Michael
Congratulations.
Stallings. You were in pretty good standing, but last week you lost Cirie and you lost Devens. This week you come up just short, a little shy of 10 point or just a little under 10 points difference between you and Isaiah. How are you feeling about this?
I'm devastated that they did not see the game of Joe Hunter, because he did not
Yeah,
bring me any bonus points. No votes for Mr. Joe.
no.
But
Now,
that very
Jonah, I
disappointing.
gotta get your thoughts on the draft. Now, Stallings was your champion. He was the people's champion. He picked the draft team for our each guest each week. So I gotta get your thoughts. How do you feel about how this draft turned out?
Did Isaiah get 67 points?
Yes, he
Six,
did.
seven.
Yes,
That's it. That's my thoughts.
that's your thoughts. All right, fantastic. Well, now I'll give my closing thoughts on the draft. I think it's important to remember not just who won at the end in the 11th hour, snaked it out from the true guardian of the season. You know who I was this season? If Isaiah mirrors Aubrey, I mirror one Miss Cirie Fields. I was there running the show from day one. I was in the lead. I was having the best time of my life. But in the 11th hour, I get struck down and wiped aside by some measly, sad little frickin' Puerto Rican boy. And that's exactly what happened. I am heartbroken, but I
Is that what
will be
happened on the
back.
real show? I don't remember that.
It's going to happen in season 51 because there
Yes.
is, in fact, a Puerto Rican on the cast.
Was it
He's
that
not
one guy who said
actually
I'll
he's
take
not
it?
actually Puerto Rican. He's
It
Irish.
said Puerto Rico. I don't care.
His wife lives in Puerto Rico, therefore he's also like a resident, whatever. But he's not actually
All
Puerto
right.
Rican.
Well, I just want to say I'm Cirie Fields. I win the CO award. Y'all can suck an
I
egg.
mean, honestly,
How many
I'd
points?
be happy with being Aubrey in this situation. Like, yeah, I'm winning $2 million in a car. Like, I'd take that over
And a
100K
car.
any day. So, I guess we could kind of talk about a little bit. We sort of did the new era, the open era of
Open era.
Survivor.
Yeah.
Whatever the
Uh,
heck
like I
means.
said before, I think this is way better than what we've currently had in the new era. We could see basically anything is up for grabs that we've seen in
How do you guys
Survivor's
feel about
last
they're
season.
bringing back the marooning with the ship? I'm happy about that. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
I
and
like it.
two
Cool, it's a
tribes
cool
of 10
touch. Yeah,
as well
sure.
is confirmed for
But
season.
it is a 21 person cast.
It's two tribes of 10, you said?
Yes,
There's
but it's
only
a
two
21
tribes that
person
were
cast.
visible. Yeah, on
Yeah,
the in the
the other person probably just goes to Exile Island. Like I wouldn't think too much. Maybe it's a draft for tribes. They did that in Vanuatu too. I
That's
don't know what other
true.
seasons they did, but
That's
they did
true.
it in
They've done that
Vanuatu.
in the past,
Did they
and
do it? No,
like
they didn't do it in Vanuatu.
Jeff said anything could potentially happen. So we could see something like
Thailand.
that where there is hand-picked tribes or something, and the one person that doesn't get picked goes to Exile Island. Like we can most definitely see that, which honestly is
They did
exciting.
schoolyard pick for Thailand. I mean, for tribe swaps, they've done it all the time, but Thailand they picked the tribes at the beginning, so they might be doing that. But yeah, I think the other person just goes to Exile Island, or they go home. You know,
Or
do
oh
that
yeah,
too.
like Palau. Can you imagine if they if they bring that back? It's like
Oh yeah,
Wanda,
Palau.
like she just you just if you don't get picked, that's it. You're just out of the game.
Wanda Shirk was robbed. She needs to come back. Survivor.
Uh,
She should be on 50.
yeah, man.
No, no
No.
Wanda on 50, please.
And the fans
Yes,
are
one.
Personal
wondering,
request. If
will
that was in the hands
Survivor
of this fan, it would not happen.
will Survivor Conquest be coming back for the podcast? I mean, for
Okay,
51.
here's
I
the
don't
thing.
I don't know, to be honest. Like we did this because this was season 50, like season 50 special and all. 51. I don't know, and if it does, I don't know if we'll do it every week. We'll see if for whatever reason we absolutely love 51, which honestly I'm a bit more optimistic about 51 than I am your traditional New Era season. Maybe
Yeah, I
I
mean, did
don't
doing
know.
this podcast burn you guys out, or does it just depend on like how good 51 is?
No,
I think we got a little tired near the end.
not really. No, I'm glad that we did not do a podcast for 48 because my God, we would have had nothing to talk about every week. It would have been
20-minute
horrible.
episodes.
20, not even. That's like too long.
48, you said? Okay.
for 48. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
well,
have
the
been
problem is
awful.
that I tend not to watch a lot of seasons at this point. Like, I saw most of 47, and but this is the first season I've seen all the way through. Since I think the last season I did that for was 41, I think is the only season that this was the last season where I didn't miss an episode. Maybe 43 or 42. One of them. Oh, no, because I know 43, I definitely missed a couple episodes. So maybe 42 is the last
Okay.
season that I watched all the way through.
Okay, so the whole cast is now on Inside Survivor. So yeah, there are 21 people. Maggie Nestor was the last person. She is a 40 years old, a camp counselor slash farmer. So good for her being on
40-year-old
Survivor.
camp counselor.
Yeah, 40.
That's the winner, baby. That's the winner right
No, no,
there.
no, 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 no. The winner is going to be the sex store owner from Kearney, New Jersey.
Yeah, I thought this was a family show.
Ooh.
That's what you said.
Yes, Stallings, you could go and meet this sex store owner. You gotta go. She's gonna start selling torch snuffer dildos soon. It's gonna be great.
Um, we'll see if she wins.
Uh,
Yeah, if she wins, Stallings is outside her door. He is there
Not gonna
as she opens. Let me in. I need some of this sexual product.
Honestly, I'm just dying to know what, because when somebody gives a confessional, they put like their profession there. No, not a chance in hell they're gonna put sex store owner as her like
Maybe
They
it'll
profession.
just
won't. It's a
be
family
adult
No,
show. It's
store.
like there's people
they
8-year-olds watching. I think like because she's probably not going to talk about her job, so maybe it's just that's what Inside Survivor said. Does that mean that they're going to put it? You know how when the cast reveals like officially put on EW, like if it says occupation sex store owner, that would be pretty funny. But I don't think they're going to be doing that on the
well,
on the show. It's just
yeah, maybe
I
just
looked at
like
that,
the
I was so confused.
shop owner or something like that, man.
I don't know.
Um,
We also have a new Boston Rob. There's a Rob from Boston, Massachusetts. It's not Boston Rob, so I don't know.
dang.
Yeah, well, Justin from 48 was basically Boston Pizza, but
Oh, by the way, I will always remember Justin Piopi. I will never stop talking about how that guy was robbed. He had the 1 in 4 to get picked on the journey, got forced to play the game, and then lost his vote. And then Mary shot in the dark hit, and then Cedric flipped on him. Like that guy had so many circumstances leading to him, but they'll never bring him back. But just if he ever watches this, just know, Justin, I will always campaign for you to come back.
I think
well, he was
Um,
too boring to come back. But he probably deserves a
yeah,
second chance just
exactly.
because like
yeah, second chance type contender. I think the
people
good thing
say that
about
about everyone though. Like we
Uh,
waited 6 years for 50, and then now they've only cast 24 people, and it's the biggest cast ever. But they only cast 24, which is a small number in comparison to the amount that played in the new era leading up. And eventually, you hit a point where it's like you're not doing enough returning player seasons. You just assume that like there's so many people that you would like to see back that aren't going to come back. So, I mean, this idea that we just throw names out and just be like, oh, they'll come back. It's not as simple as that. But
I
I think
mean,
returning player seasons will happen more now.
we are gonna see more returning players going forward, and also the cast
I
seem
want
to be
second chance
bigger.
too. Give me a second chance too. Give me an all pre-merge boot season maybe. Maybe a first boot season. That would be like a shit show. It would be funny. I want a first boot season. I think the field is
Honestly,
enough. Maybe really let's get Chicken Morris back on Survivor.
I mean, yeah, with
Ancient
51.
chicken Morris.
With 51,
Same.
we have a 21 person cast. So honestly, it kind of sucks because in a way, I feel like we're going to get a lot of double boots again. But I think it's a good thing in a sense that more people have more opportunities to get on the show because they're
Exactly. Our
casting more
odds just
people each
went up,
year.
boys. We're in the running now.
alrighty.
Yeah, let's reply in August. Yeah, 53, 54.
All right. Well, do we have anything else we want to touch on? We don't want to spin our wheels for too long, go on too many
I think we
random
talked about
tangents.
51 enough. I don't think there's anything else on that.
No, well, there is one more thing we can always do on the Survivor Conquest podcast.
Oh, the
Now,
tradition.
Mr. Jonah Boyer, we have a tradition here on the Survivor Conquest podcast. It is tradition that at the very episode, we give one basic prediction. That's what you think is going to happen. That's what your brain is braining and saying, I anticipate this. And then we want one beautiful, bold, farthest thing from basic you can think of prediction. Previous predictions this season, we predicted that Christian was going to physically assault Rick Devens, and that's why his wife was going to leave him. We predicted that Ozzy and Coach were going to throw hands multiple times. It was incredible. We had so much fun. I predicted a rock draw was going to happen and some crazy antics. I predicted precise vote counts. Never once did I get it right, but that's the point of a big, beautiful, bold prediction. It is so insane, so out there that it's just a near impossible it could happen. But hey, if somebody would have predicted that Christian was going to shit his pants on camera this season, they would have been right. And that's beautiful. That's big. That's bold. So that's the kind of stuff we're looking for. Now, to give you a bit of time to stew on this, we're going to have Isaiah go first. Isaiah, go.
All right, so I'm assuming our predictions are going to be for season 51. Um,
They are for season 51. Correct, sir.
what is my boring prediction? Honestly, it's kind of hard because like Jeff said, anything is on the table for this season. So, what is going to be my safe, boring prediction? I, you know what? I think the safe prediction is we're going to get a tribe swap. Everybody seems to like tribe swaps. We've been getting them a lot as of lately in the new era, and technically this is no longer the new era. I think we're going to see a tribe swap. So for 51. And my bold prediction is going to be, hold on, I gotta pull up this cast. Linnea, I think that's how you say her name. The
Probably
sex
Linnea.
the whatever, the sex store owner from Kearney, New Jersey. She is going to be the winner of Survivor 51.
Oh, yeah.
And she is going to talk about her profession as a sex store owner throughout the game. And she's gonna, I guess, incorporate that somehow into her strategy. Maybe she's gonna be a temptress or something in some way, and she plays this phenomenal social game, and that's how she wins Survivor 51. So
What's
that
the
is
next
my
one?
bold
But
Oh,
prediction.
Isaiah's stealing my idea. Like, I feel like I want to just talk about the sex store owner for my
All right,
my
well, I'm
bold
gonna go.
prediction.
I'll go next here. My basic prediction. You know what? I mean, I don't think we have anyone that's non-binary or anything else on this cast. So I'm just gonna say, you know what? We've been getting a lot of female winners. It's time for a man to win. We're gonna get a man winner, and it's gonna be refreshing for the four of us
Oh,
here. For men. Okay, that's what I think. Now for my bold, amazing prediction.
49 had an all-female final three. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly.
that's
We need to
sad.
stop this inequality from happening again. That is ridiculous. We will not stand for it. Now then, for my bold prediction, I'm seeing a vision. I'm seeing a vision. I'm seeing it's a vision of the final three.
oh
I
gosh.
see, ooh, ooh. It's our zero vote finalist. Lewis Kelly from Dublin, Ireland. Was that Scottish? That was more Scottish. I
I
tried
think
my
so.
best. Slash Puerto Rico. Not gonna attempt that accent. Who's our second placer? Why, it's our lovely person who somehow already has fan edits going around before the entire cast was even revealed. That's right, it's Sharonda
Oh, that
Renee,
is
I'm
actually
assuming.
true. People have been making edits of her already, which is crazy.
Exactly. She's from
Give me send me
Berea.
these. Can you send those
Hi.
for me?
Is that Kentucky? I don't know. Oh
Yes,
no,
I believe
or
that is Kentucky. Yes, KY.
sure. And who is our winner? Why?
Do I have to
I
say the
mean,
winner?
no, you can do
Your
whatever you
bold
want.
prediction could be
Oh,
literally anything, but
Now then,
so is it
who am
is it
I
a safe
thinking?
prediction? Is it a safe prediction and a bold prediction, or can I just make any prediction?
you do one of each.
It's a basic prediction and a bold prediction, two separate predictions.
Safe and bold. Okay.
Yeah. And for my winner, why? I'm between two people. I can't tell if it's Brady Booker, the pro wrestler from LaSalle, Illinois, or if it's the second coming of one James Thomas Jr., Carter Kroll from Rock Rapids, Indiana. I don't know. I'm Canadian. I don't know what these two letters are. I'm assuming that's Indiana.
It might be
Who
Iowa,
is it?
actually.
Who is
I think
it?
it is Iowa.
Oh, I see the vision. One is sixth place, the other is the winner. The winner is Carter. Oh, All right, we have our final three. Our zero vote finalist, Lewis Kelly from Dublin, Ireland. I'll get better. We have our second placer with 2 votes to win, Sharonda Renee, and our winner with I don't know how many votes. 7 votes to no, wait, not 7. 8 votes to win. It's going to be Carter Crow. That's right. It's going to be a crazy season. Who's our sixth placer? It's Brady Booker.
Wow.
Go.
It's pretty bold.
Like, who's next here? Like, what do we?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you think this is not? Stallings looks like he has a really bold prediction. I think he's ready to go.
I mean, I'm ready to go. Like, so ready.
Okay, you know what? Jonah's ready to go. You know what, Stallings? You're a chump. You're a pussy. You have to wait longer.
Save the
Okay,
best
my
for
safe prediction is that there's gonna be three shot in the darks plays and none of them hit. That's my safe prediction.
That's pretty bold for a safe prediction. Wow.
Yeah.
Ah, wow.
All right. Bold prediction: sex store owner brings a dildo, fake idol. There we go.
Oh my God.
Before the game even starts.
Can you imagine she makes a fake
That's
idol?
her personal idol.
That's
Fake
her,
idol,
like,
yeah.
comfort item.
So that's my bold prediction. Yeah.
And that's called a comfort
That's probably
idol.
more predictable than the safe one, to be honest.
Awesome.
That's it.
All righty, Stallings, the people's champion, close us out for Survivor 50 and for the Survivor
Right.
Conquest podcast.
My safe prediction is almost like a hope. I am looking for a successful idol play happening on Survivor 51. It's just it feels like I think the last time we got one was maybe Kyle Frazier in the pre-merge of
Actually, it was
No
this
way.
season.
I can't
It was
think of
Rick.
another one.
It was
That was
Rick
the one that I was
Devens.
thinking of, but yeah.
Oh yeah, technically Rick Devens. But I'm hoping
Oh,
for I'm clamoring for a real shocking idol play, and I'm hoping with this new whatever new era thing that's going on here. I don't know. Maybe we'll have that coming back because we didn't see too much of it during the 40 to 50. It was just, a lot of people sort of either holding it till Final
yeah.
Four.
Are you thinking like Kelly Wentworth? Are you thinking like
I wouldn't
Parvati
say
plays
Kelly
two idols?
Wentworth. I'm just thinking of like any sort of like successful idol play where the person going home gets the majority votes off of them.
Just
You
an
know what I
idol
mean?
play that feels monumental, like fun. Like there was a good idol play in fucking 44 where what is it, Danny played it on Kellen or something.
Yeah,
But I don't
I
care. I don't
agree.
even care about that idol play. It's so easy to forget about. Like it's
Yeah, you even
whatever.
forgot her name. Her name's Franny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
Franny? Oh, I
Mhm.
confused
But
Kellen from
she
Coast
looks like
Island.
Kellen from Ghost Island, so
44 is a
Okay, yeah.
forgettable season. I don't know. I don't remember much from that
I
season.
I'm
hated for
sorry, Franny.
I remember Carolyn.
Ugh.
my
I liked
bold
Carson more than Kyle did, but Carson was annoying at times.
okay, I'll go for a bold prediction. I'm gonna go that they um Hmm, this is really, really tough. Um, hmm. I'm gonna predict that they completely change one mechanic of the game as we know it. Whether that be like the Final Four fire making to vote, or maybe like just anything that is significant about what we've known in the past. I think that they're going to change it. That is my prediction. It's going to be one of those things that's heavily debated, but it's going to be one of those we're moving out of the 40s, it's time for the 50s, and we're going to do something different. But I'm not talking
Drop
about.
the 5, keep the 1. Fire making is staying. I
Yeah.
started to interrupt you, but yeah, fire making is
No,
definitely
you're
staying.
good. It's anything that's like
I know any game mechanic. The fans kind of botched this. Isaiah's happy, I suppose, but like I wanted a pure vote at Final Four, at least this time around.
it
Obviously,
sucks. It
I'm
sucks.
Canadian,
Listen,
but I can still vote in those.
anything's on the table. This is the open era. It's as open as a marriage, all right? This is the open era. Anything goes. Anyway.
Marriages aren't very open. 50% end in divorces. Kyle,
Oh,
Oh,
open.
that's true. Isaiah's parents are still actually no wait, Isaiah's parents never got married. Stallings, are your parents still together?
They are.
Okay, well my parents are divorced. There's your 50-50. All right, thanks for the go on the podcast.
what kind of like outro send off is that?
Segue into
All
the
right.
Survivor
From
Forget.
all
Conquest.
of us at the
My parents
Survivor
are still
Conquest
together. They're married. They're still
All
together.
right, well, Isaiah's parents aren't together. My parents aren't together. Both your parents
Wait,
are.
my
That's
parents
great.
are together. They're just not
No, they're
married.
not married.
Whatever.
There are tax benefits to marriage, Isaiah. You
Yeah,
should tell
Isaiah,
them
did
to
you
get
try
married.
explaining that to them? There's tax benefits.
Well, in the state of Georgia, I think after you are, we're not going to go into this discussion.
Ladies,
Whatever.
ladies and
Anyway,
gentlemen, Survivor 50. This is how you close it out.
thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for tuning into the Survivor Conquest podcast with our full coverage of Survivor 50 in the hands of the fans. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know, you guys will see us back for Survivor 51, the beginning of the open era. So, like, comment, subscribe because why not?
And
See.
if you want to hear more about Isaiah's parents' dynamic, stay tuned for their second channel diving into their
Stay,
deep dives
stay
about
tuned for the cross-promotional crossover with Outwit, Outplay, Outpod coming soon.
yes, yeah. It's time to figure.
Parenthood podcast.